All right, so for pressure washer maintenance, here are some of the fluids and essentials I think are important for if your machinery is running well, you just need to maintain it, or if things aren't going so well, how to help fix some of these issues. So let's go one by one here. First of all, you just have your standard SAE 10W30 engine oil. This happens to be full synthetic, although that's not whatsoever necessary. So your engine oil is something that is really important to change either once a year if you're using this thing just on rare occasion, or if you're using this thing for work, or just more frequently, maybe for farm use. You would want to change your engine oil every 40 hours of use. So on this machine here, you have your oil outlet right here, and on the other side, you have a dipstick right here, so you can take a look at your oil level. So in order to drain your oil out, all you do is you take both this dipstick as well as the other side out, and you can drain your oil, put in a funnel, and put new oil in. Generally, a machine this size will take about 16 ounces, although some larger models will take a full quart of oil. I have a full video on that if you're curious. Now this is carb cleaner. Carb cleaner is something that's extremely important for a couple reasons. One, if you're ever going to take apart a carburetor, particularly if you have ethanol in your fuel, you let it sit over the winter without running all of the gas out of it, carb cleaner is going to be very useful for cleaning that carburetor. Now, I hate cleaning carburetors. It's difficult, it takes a long time, you can lose parts, and in some circumstances it makes more sense just to buy a new carburetor as opposed to cleaning old ones. Now, on most pressure washers, what can be done to test if the carburetor is an issue, and even to help clean the carburetor, is to take the air filter off, like I'm doing now, to find the air intake. Now this will be able to shoot carburetor cleaner straight into the carburetor without any disassembly required. So while you're pulling that pull cord, you spray some carb cleaner right into your air intake, and that will help clean your carburetor and should help your engine run. If you suspect that your gas is no good, this is the exact same thing that you can do. Spray it straight into the air intake, and if you get it to start for a short burst, now you know your engine runs fine. It's your gas that is no good. This will ignite in an engine. Everybody knows WD-40. I just think this is important to have for fixing your engines, to be able to loosen any rusted parts. This is particularly useful on pumps for removing corroded areas, to remove the pump from the engine block, stuff like that. Seafoam is something that's extremely important for stabilizing fuel, particularly over winter. Open up your gas tank, dump in an ounce of gas, an ounce of seafoam, put that in there. It will stabilize that gas, help prevent it from settling over the winter. This is also great for regular use to help clean out your carburetor, clean out all your fuel lines. This is fantastic for that purpose. Now, Stable Fast Fix is fantastic for engines that run really hard or engines that cycle. You get them to rev up and then they rev down. They rev up and rev down. You'll hear this commonly walking through neighborhoods with lawnmowers. Old lawnmowers will rev up and down and up and down. Fast Fix is fantastic, and you need to be very conservative with it. Just half an ounce for a gas tank this size will treat it. You put it in there, let it sit 15 minutes, and then you try to start your engine. You get that engine running for a while. This does an excellent job of fixing cycling engines. Next thing here is pump oil. So your pump oil is used for lubricating the inside of your pump. So it doesn't go in your manifold here, it goes in here where your pistons are. I have a video on this on the channel, but you put the oil in here, you can drain the old oil out here, and there's a nice glass window on pretty much every pump that tells you what level it should be at. Now, you may ask yourself, what's the difference between engine oil and pump oil? Aren't those two things replaceable? No, they're not, and you need to make sure you're using the right thing. So this is SAE 10W30. This is SAE 30, ISO 100. So those are interchangeable terms. ISO 100 and SAE 30 are interchangeable terms. Usually you'll find both. This is non-detergent. There are all sorts of detergent additives that go into engine oil to help clean out the engine. You do not want that with a pump. It will damage your pump and cause serious issues. So make sure you use a different oil, an SAE 30, ISO 100 non-detergent oil for replacing your pump oil, which should be done every 100 hours if you're using this regularly. If you're a homeowner that uses this once a year, good argument to be made for never replacing your pump oil ever. And if you do, watch a video on how to do it and do it carefully. Last thing on here is Pump Saver. Pump Saver is a fantastic product used for winterizing a pump over the winter. These pumps have water in them at all times. If you let it sit outside during the winter, that is going to freeze, meaning it's going to expand. Your valves are then going to crack or disform. Your pump is now garbage. What this is antifreeze that turns into a foam. And so it takes the water out, it leaves antifreeze residue, and over the winter, this is not going to expand, this is not going to contract. It's going to make sure that your pump is in perfect shape. It does nothing to degrade the brass parts in there, nor any plastic parts. And in the spring, your first time using it, you just run some water through like normal, and nothing bad happens. So these are all the things that I think you need in order to maintain and to make sure your pressure washer is operating well.